Шановні колеги, до слова запрошується
Colleagues, now the floor is given to Ministry of Defense spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Andriy Lysenko. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Now to your attention are the events that happened in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. The Lugansk area, the enemy violated ceasefire in Troitsk near Bakhmutska highway and in Stanitsa Luganska. Mortars were used in Popasnyansky region and Novotashkivsky. All three shellings yesterday in Lugansk area were during second half of the day and were short-term. The Donetsk area, early in the morning, the militants opened fire with the use of tanks at the positions of ATO that are deployed in Pisky. Then the enemy was active near the Donetsk airport after sunset, and then the enemy didn't use heavy weapons. And also from the very morning, the enemy started mortar shelling of Avdiivka industrial area. And there were sporadic breaks, but they fired positions near Avdiivka up to 8 p.m. And the enemy used heavy weapons, mortars, and small arms. In the left flank of Avdiivka and Kamenka, the enemy was active only in the morning and launched 20 mortar and 5 tank shells. Sporadic shellings of Ukrainian positions happened in Svetlodarsk Balch and also in the Gorlovka perimeter, Zaitsevo, Kirova, and Verkhnetoretsk. The longest shelling was in Verkhnetoretsk, where each of 2 shellings of the enemy lasted more than 1 hour. Heavy weapons was not used by the enemy at that part of front line. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Donetsk area, there were 23 enemy shellings, including 10 with the use of heavy weapons. The Mariupol area, yesterday military actions happened. Chermalik, Shirokina part of front line. The enemy violated ceasefire during 24 hours. And the most tense situation was in Gnutova, starting noon till 2 p.m. The enemy carried out massive mortar shellings and also actively used grenade launchers and small arms. And in the afternoon in Vodyane, the militants shelled positions of ATO forces with the use of tanks that are deployed in the neighboring Uzhivka village, and also 1 mortar shelling delivered by the enemy recorded in Chermalik. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in Mariupol area, there were 21 enemy shelling, including 3 with the use of heavy weapons. During the last 24 hours, in the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 4 servicemen were wounded. Ukrainian military intelligence got new information about celebrations of the 23rd of February among the militants. They massively used alcohol and drugs, and they left their positions, and they sometimes disobeyed the orders of their commanders. And on the 24th of February, in the course of friendly fire, Lieutenant Andriy was killed, the member of so-called 6th Regiment, and Private Ilya Arsenik was wounded. 3 militants of Muslim region from so-called 7th Brigade rejected household duties and were sent to the front line, and the officers of so-called 9th Regiment, afraid to stay with their subordinates at night at the front line because they believe that they can be killed by these people. So these 7 officers of this regiment have been arrested. And in Valerianka village of Volnovasky region, Donetsk Oblast, police officers found hidden arsenal. In the oven of the abandoned house, they revealed the grenade launcher RPG-22, 3 grenades F1, 4 grenades RGD-5 with fuses, and more than 100 of cartridges to Kalashnikov gun. The Slavyansk local resident handed to National Guard ammunition. These are RGD-5 grenade and 30 cartridges of 5.45 millimeter. A woman found this at the territory of the enterprise. In the course of the raid in Trushkivka, police officers confiscated from local resident 4 grenades. He found them in the forest and planned to sell them. In Chernomorsk polygon, they had some training for military academy students, the academy that is deployed in Odessa. Officers to be under command of the instructors who have military experience, battle experience. They were trained in firing different types of weapons, small arms, grenade launchers, and the armory of APCs, and they are trained in conditions that are close to those that are on the battlefield. And all this done with taking into account the experience of ATO operation, and 40% of exercises are carried out at night. National Guardsmen of Ukraine and Kharkivsky Oblast had training in ATO area, and squads of anti-aircraft forces and crews of armored vehicles BTR-4E successfully completed their firing exercises. If you have questions, please ask. No questions. Thank you and goodbye.